Hello and welcome to Horrible Horrors. I'm your host, Zac Romero. You know, we've gone on quite a journey here, going through the various Phantom of the Opera, and the version that I've elected to be the final Phantom is 1998's Phantom of the Opera, written and directed by Dario Argento. Now, before we get to the film itself, let's go over the man who brought this film version to us. Dario Argento is a world-renowned Italian filmmaker, best known for groundbreaking giallo films, and of course the influential horror masterpiece, Suspiria. Mr. Argento even helped my pops produce Dawn of the Dead, and was a big factor in steering the much more serious version of Dawn of the Dead for Italy, called Zombie. His style helped inspire filmmakers like John Goddamn Carpenter and countless others, especially out of the Mediterranean film area. So once I found out that this master of thriller and horror had told his own story of Gaston Laroux's great opera tragedy, I was ecstatic. Just to refresh my memory, what was the last film that I was excited about based entirely on one participant's film history? Oh yeah, Kane Hodder and Dark Wolf. I got fucked on that. Huh. I wonder what's going to happen with this one. So the film begins with a weeping lady in the rain in time period appropriate clothes. Okay, so Phantom of the Opera is a tragedy, so crying makes sense, and this looks old-timey enough. I'm not really sure why Baby Moses here has to do with anything. What the fuck is happening here? Why is there an underground waterfall? Okay, there's a rat swimming towards this basket. Well, guess that makes sense. There could be food in the basket with the kids, so it would... What the hell? Okay, so I guess the rat has super strength because it just saved the kid and then it pulled it up on the shore. What is going on with this rat subplot in a Phantom of the Opera movie? What? A mysterious bond between a kid and rats. So we jump ahead several years, and now we're knee-deep in opera time. We see Christine, played by Dario Argento, the director's very own daughter. I'm sure that won't end up weird or awkward in any way. So as Christine goes back to her dressing room, she runs into this creepy long-haired jabron who tells her that she sings great and that he has telepathy. This better not be the goddamn Phantom of this movie. This had better not be him. Then, just like the goof-ass Hammer version, we have a rat catcher. So the rats have telepathic powers and made the guy put his own hand in his Tim Burton designed hell trap and then bit him because Phantom. So Christine keeps meeting up with this weirdo in secret, and suddenly they're in love. I'm not exaggerating, by the way. I don't know if nobody on the set was getting paid by the hour or what was going on, but this film is fucking sprinting to its end of an 88-minute film. So yeah, this is our Phantom. This creeper, long-haired, Hot Topic Sephiroth with no mask, no cape, no mystique, just a fucking rat child with magic powers. What is this? This movie broke the Phantom Strike system. Where are my angry glasses at? Hey, let's step away from this for a moment and go into Filmmaking 101. Today's lesson is how you should never finish your chase scene that you put in your movie for filler. If that wasn't an indicator for how bat insane this movie is, allow me to show you this scene. Phantom is just sitting on the rooftop, not being very phantom-y, when suddenly he receives a vision of people trapped in a giant scary rat trap, then of Christine standing around looking bored. Then that ends the scene. That's what this film considers characterization. We finally meet Raoul, and instead of being the hero of the story, he's portrayed as a stalker and a cockblock to the creeper monster babies that these two would make. So then Raoul and his brother decide to revitalize his jaded spirit, whatever that means. Why? Why are we seeing belly dancers and nudity? Why is there a fire magician in a Phantom of the Opera movie? Did somebody seriously slip me Caligula by mistake? Like, I'm okay with if you did. I'll review Caligula. Need those cinema snob sloppy seconds. So Raoul starts hallucinating and suddenly sees Christine in this bizarre brothel. And let's not forget that the actress that plays Christine is the director's daughter. How awkward and weird was this scene to film? Ah yes, some more tongue, my little angel. Really horrid up. You make your mama so proud. Now we're back to the rat catcher, who is a minor throwaway character in the novel, and is now apparently our main villain against the so-called hero of the Phantom. And he's built some kind of new contraption to catch more rats? And here's what it looks like. First off, why did Willy Wonka have to invent a bumper car? Secondly, why did someone make it out of tinfoil? Third, okay, why is there a weird phallic piece on it? Fourth, why does the phallic dick part have a sexy mouth at the tip? So Christine just waltzes down to the underground chamber where the Phantom plays music for her, but doesn't actually teach her to sing in any meaningful way. Then they have sex. That's right, her father, in real life, directed her sex scene in this film. It's gross, too. I mean, how else would you expect it? It's Rat Man sex. Then he tells her to stay in his underground kingdom while he goes and does more phantom-y crimes. So, as sort of scheduled, the Phantom threatens the current loudmouth opera singer to step down and let Christine sing instead. And how does he go about doing this? Does he give her a weird message from the other side of a mirror, like in the Universal Classic? Or does he leave the weird skinned, but somehow still alive messenger in the closet? Or just the weird hypnotic voice from nowhere? No, he does it like this. He sexually assaults her into not singing in the show. So we get the chandelier dropping scene. And I will give this film credit. Of all the versions of the Phantom that I've sat through, this is the only one that really showcases what happens when that chandelier falls. And, Jesus, we became Inglourious Bastards all of a sudden. But wait a minute, what happened with the rat catcher mobile fuck station situation? Well, I'm glad you asked! The rat catcher and his midget minion ride in the machine for all of 45 seconds before they crash, killing the midget, and then the catcher just kind of flops around doing nothing for most of the rest of the film. So now that things are suddenly coming up for Christine, she hates the Phantom again. And then they fuck again. Mr. Argento, I am asking you nicely, please stop showing me scenes of your real-life daughter getting butt-fucked. So anyway, Christine escapes because the Phantom is distracted with whatever the fuck he's doing with the rats here. What the fuck, ew! So Christine's gone and she comes back and suddenly she loves Raoul, and we're just gonna pretend that she's just been here the whole time and there's no Phantom, and hey, she's on stage now and everyone loves her. Oh wait, fucking Ratcatcher, who in every other version of this story is on screen less than 4 minutes, is the entire moving forward motion of this plot. So Tubbs comes out here and interrupts and he outs that Christine and the Phantom are a couple. So the Phantom magically swoops down. No, I'm serious, we don't see him grab on anything and swing down or drop from here. He just magically just hovers down to the ground. He grabs Christine and we give way to slow-ass chase. The Phantom sets down for a minute and Christine wakes up and hates him again. And then she hits him and feels bad and apologizes profusely. What the fuck is going on with this character? So they keep moving on, but Raoul catches up to them, and finally, he can play his part of the hero. Oh no! How did he know my one weakness? Bullets fired from a gun. So the Phantom asks Raoul to help, and he fucking does! He shoots this murderous monster, the Phantom cries and poops his pants, and Raoul is just like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know what came over me, and helps the Phantom and Christine get out of the cave. Then they reach the docks, and Phantom tells Raoul to take Christine and go. Why are they trying to kill Raoul and Christine? Why does she suddenly care about the Phantom again? Why is this movie treating the Phantom of the Opera like he's the hero? Okay, so seriously, this asshole takes like 8 point-blank bullet wounds, still manages to find time to get revenge on the fucking Ratcatcher character, and yell, Christine! For the trailers to use before finally dying. Is that it? You sure? You sure there's nothing else you want to do before you die? You want to go file your taxes or go bake a cake or something? I mean, you got all the time in the world. Sorry to inconvenience you with a forward-moving plot and a fucking appropriate character death. So Raoul keeps rowing, and Christine keeps professing her love to the Phantom, and we're all just supposed to feel something here. But all I feel is disdain for every character in this thing. Raoul is supposed to be the hero of the story. The shining light of reality that showcases to Christine that although, hey, the Phantom helping to further your career may be nice, it's not worth the cost of murder and losing your very soul. In this, he's just fucking cockblock Magoo. He's a complete throwaway character. In fact, the movie doesn't treat him as Raoul. His name should be Gaston. He's the doof who's adored by women, envied by men, wants the main character girl, but the Beast is what catches her eye, and he ends up the villain. Except at least in that, the Beast is a selfish prince who wants redemption. In this, the Beast is a creep who molests women and f***s rodents! This whole film is a complete mess. The characters are all unlikable. The film ventures so far away from the source material. It broke the fucking Phantom strike system on this show. The rat catcher is the most important character for some reason. Christine, whom we're supposed to feel sympathy for, is a twat who can't make up her mind. The Phantom is part rat. The Phantom doesn't wear a mask. There's no ending. This thing is complete garbage. This is by far the worst version of the Phantom that I've ever come across. Hands down, without question. And what happened to Argento's career after this film? Well, this train wreck certainly didn't do him any favor. As of Phantom of the Opera in '98, Dario Argento directed 15 films in his career. Do you know how many films he's directed since Phantom of the Opera? 5. 5 movies in 16 years. And he's not Daniel Day goddamn Lewis over here, like picking and choosing his projects. When you've got this kind of stink on you, where else can you really go? So nowadays, Mr. Argento is looking to fund his film projects through crowdfunding websites like Kickstarter and GoFundMe. Oh gee, you're telling me there's no major film studios willing to put up money for his artistic endeavors? Well gee, maybe it has something to do with making a fucking version of the Phantom of the Opera where the Phantom is part rat and telepathic and a creep and you have half a dozen scenes of your actual daughter being for the camera in it. Maybe that's got something to do with it. You know what? It's fine if he wants to crowdsource his projects. I get it. But if he really wants to make this work, he's going to need to go with donation perks that really play to his strengths. Namely, $250 donation gets you an awkward 10-minute makeout session with his daughter. A $500 donation gets you a private screening of Suspiria, where Dario Argento does a running commentary explaining what the fuck is actually supposed to be going on in that film. And for a $1,000 donation, Dario Argento will let you kick him right in the ding-ding for ruining goddamn Phantom of the Opera. I'm completely disgusted with this whole thing, and I don't know when I'll be able to look at a Phantom of the Opera again. It's just, this has just been too goddamn much. I'm Zac Romero. Thank you for following me on this journey through various versions of the Phantom of the Opera. Until next time.